It's late summer at South Pond Farms. Tarts are baking, vegetables have ripened as we prepare for Christy's dream wedding.
So you don't need 10 people at table 9?
No. But can we deliver the dream?
It's gonna rain. It's spitting already, I can feel it.
If we get rained out? I'm Danielle French. 10 years ago, I moved from the city to the country with my 4 daughters, dream in hand, for a more simple side of life. I found my home at South Pond Farms.
This is actually looking beautiful. Okay.
And decided to create special events from scratch, opening my doors to share a taste of the country with everyone. My farm is the perfect setting for a romantic country wedding. We host around 20 a year, and I really love them. By the end of each celebration, everyone has fallen in love with the farm just like I have. The 70 acres of rolling countryside with a wildflower garden, a vegetable patch out in the meadow, my beautifully restored classic barn and century farmhouse, the outdoor wood-fired oven, and a magical ceremony space down by the pond.
One of the reasons people choose to come here is because they love the outdoors and they want to have an outdoor feeling. And so for them, almost always being married outside, having their ceremony outside is the most important.
But entertaining outside is no small feat, so thank goodness I have Amy, my right hand and chief planner of logistics. Nothing phases her.
Today we're getting ready for a wedding. The bride's name is Christy and her groom is Tony. They are a local couple, actually.
Rustic weddings are very popular these days. When a couple books a wedding at South Pond, it means flowers will come straight from my garden, as will many of the ingredients for our homemade wedding feast. The parties are always held in our romantic barn, lit by vintage chandeliers with cocktails served in old-style mason jars and communal harvest tables set with our antique floral china. Simple, elegant, handcrafted, and handmade is always our approach.
Here, I'll sit on the end, and then that way people don't have to reach.
It's the day before Christy and Tony's wedding, so it's time to run through our game plan.
Oh, hold on. You guys can't have this roasted garlic. It's for the mashed potatoes tomorrow night.
It's important that Lisa is here to keep the kitchen schedule on track.
So we have our wedding tomorrow. We have 100 people coming tomorrow. There's going to be 95 adults and 5 children, actually. There's a couple unique things with the menu that we're doing the mini pies, or tarts, I guess we're calling them now. Instead of doing 10 pies, we're doing 100 tarts, right? So that's obviously got a fair bit of work involved in it. You're going to do the buckets for the aisle with the wildflowers in the morning, or is that a today job or a tomorrow job?
I probably could just be more of a help in the kitchen today, Lisa, and do the flowers in the morning.
And I think the weather tomorrow, Mitch, you were saying it's supposed to be nice.
No.
No? Oh, it's going to rain? That's the thing with booking what is essentially an outdoor venue. You just, it's a bit of a toss-up, and you just hope that your guests are dressed accordingly for the weather.
I would double check with her that she's okay for us to serve inside.
I'll call her. I have her cell phone number.
Thank you for taking a couple of minutes. I know we've got a lot to do. Thank you.
Christy and Tony are expecting a wedding feast that fits perfectly with South Pond's country setting.
I have your basil.
This is beautiful.
To do this, our menu will be local and farm fresh, everything prepared from scratch. Wood-fired pizzas, grilled grass-fed sirloin, and chicken infused with fresh herbs and seasonal vegetables from my garden. Topped off with individually baked fruit tarts using my neighbor's blueberries.
Cutting some peaches up for the pie. I'm going to write down how many cups because I will immediately forget that.
I think it speaks to your cooking abilities, that you don't need a recipe.
8 cups. We have a little bit of an extraordinary request for the wedding tomorrow. It's mini pies filled with fruits. Peaches are in season, blueberries are in season. That final little taste of summer. I like the process of baking pies, but it is harder to bake pies in volume. So we're making basil oil that we can use in the pizzas. That's a lot of basil.
It is.
That's enough basil oil to bathe in for a few times. So today, one really special thing is that the chicken is marinated in the fresh basil. That's an awesome marinade. It's got a really deep, rich green marinade on it. That actually looks delicious.
That's gonna be awesome.
The bride was hoping for a sun-kissed, warm, and romantic ceremony overlooking the pond, but gray clouds have rolled in, casting a shadow over the farm, and there's a chance of rain on the horizon.
Let's just put the tables here for now.
So the team is setting up a backup plan, a ceremony held inside the barn, which we hope will still deliver on the bride's dream for her big day.
It's totally possible that the weather sort of clears up and they would want their ceremony outside. And so we would have to move 100 chairs back to the tables, move the tables back. So that's a bit tricky.
Thanks, Lily. Good job.
Is this our typical recipe, Danielle?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Today, we are following my grandmother's simple recipe for pastry.
And I measured and weighed, just in case you were kind of wondering if I'd follow the recipe.
Since day one, I've always insisted on using traditional recipes with only the freshest of ingredients.
My mom taught me how to make pie dough. She learned from my grandmother, and my grandmother always made excellent pie. But my mom is the classic of no follower, a recipe. If I'm bad, she's worse.
I can agree to that. The recipe's a good recipe.
With the tarts baking and the sweet smells arising, the staff come out of the woodwork.
It is particularly hard for Nick to keep his hands off the baking.
These are gonna be mini pies.
Oh,
He loves butter tarts,
I thought it was butter tart day. Well, that's okay.
right?
Hey, let's keep in mind
Neil
it's my
will
birthday
earn.
tomorrow.
Oh man, Lisa, that was a fairly significant hint.
It was.
You've got 2 celebrations tomorrow. Along with the wedding, it's Nick's birthday. As we continue with our baking, Amy greets the wedding party for their rehearsal.
Hi. We have the bride and her family here. They're coming today for her rehearsal and to drop off some of her decor.
The bridesmaids have created their own table setting using simple jars and lace trim. I think they look lovely on the beautiful harvest tables out in the barn.
This side or this side? This side.
Hoping that tomorrow brings blue skies, Christy and Tony hold their rehearsal at our beautiful outdoor ceremony space.
You get that view of the pond, and it is really romantic. Sometimes there will be mist, and when it's raining, sometimes there will be more wildlife outside, so it's lovely.
Fingers crossed for no rain.
There will be a wedding today at South Pond. We've been setting up for 2 days. I'm going to write down how many cups because I will immediately forget that.
The plan all along has been to hold the wedding at what has become our claim to fame, our beautiful natural ceremony space down by the pond.
Okay.
But with a forecast of rain, we have to be standing by for the possibility of moving everything indoors.
So you don't need 10 people at table 9?
No.
But before showtime, we have a special birthday to celebrate.
Hey, guys, look at these eggs. They are a thing of beauty. The chickens were going crazy.
The advantage of having my home right here on the farm is that we can come together as one big family and enjoy a little home-cooked fun.
Today we have Nick's birthday, so we're trying to put a few things together for him just as a bit of a surprise. Look at this. This is a caramel chocolate brownie cheesecake. Yeah, for breakfast.
Also on today's healthy menu, Nick's favorite treat, butter tarts.
Oh, there they come.
Happy
birthday to you. Those aren't for you. You get all the stuff on the table. Happy birthday, Nick.
It's over. Well, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate this. Very nice.
Nick's butter tart surprise was a big success in the kitchen. But outside, the weather certainly isn't looking good.
Break in the weather for flower picking.
And although the bridesmaids have provided lovely table centerpieces, I've promised the bride I'll make wildflower arrangements for the ceremony space.
So the bride's dresses are navy. And these are really pretty, and they've got a bit of the navy and purple.
There's a movement away from using formal flower arrangements at weddings. I've done similar rustic arrangements in the past, and they've always been a great success.
I think sometimes people don't realize what kinds of things they have right in their own backyard.
I love picking flowers from my garden for special events, but even more, I love arranging them.
We're in the flower cave, and I like it because I get to hide out and do my own thing while everything's going on around me. Maybe put a couple of these in. I know I'm not someone that does centers, and I'm not symmetrical. And I find that I do that in almost all the things that I do, is that I have, one piece going like this or things on the side. These are supposed to go down the aisle, so they're supposed to look, kind of wild. All right.
While I finish the flower arrangements in the barn, over in the catering kitchen, Neil is husking corn and Lisa is getting a head start on the mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes, some roasted garlic, some fine chopped green onions. Pound of butter seems extreme, but once you taste them, you'll realize it's not. Sour cream, salt, pepper, and a little bit of nutmeg. Perfect.
And let's not forget the grilled sirloin. People always ask about our table settings. I have a friend that keeps an eye out for beautiful pieces that fit our country aesthetic. Tables, chairs, china, everything you see in the barn has been sourced at local yard sales and auctions.
I find that here in particular, the weather changes fairly quickly because we're in the hills, so sometimes things will blow over really quickly, which is awesome. We tend to just sort of play it by ear the day of. Can change 6 times before the ceremony is actually supposed to start, so you can't really make a decision until the last minute. We have the barn, I don't know, have you been in the barn yet? Set up just in case.
Yes, I think
Outside.
If it's not raining, we're gonna push outside, but
Okay, and again, if it stays like this, then there'll be no problem. All right, well, enjoy getting ready. I'll come back in a little while, you guys.
The bridal party appears to be ready for anything.
So the bride, she did not bring candles with her today. If we had some floating around, I think it looked really nice on the tables to kind of warm things up a little bit.
Yes. How many tables again? 11
plus the head table.
Okay, 11, remember that. 11 plus the head table. All right, let's go. 11 plus the head table. So, Aubrey, can you just tell me, okay, so we have 11 tables times 3. Oh my gosh, I can do the math on that, Aubrey. I'm 33.
The really great thing about working from home is that I get to work with my daughters. Today, Aubrey Rose will be pitching in with the wood-fired pizzas.
You want me to go check the pizza oven while you go put
I can
these
check
on
the pizza oven.
Are you able to put more wood in and stuff?
Yeah, I'm not 2 years old, Mom.
The stone oven is really a feature at the cocktail hour. The fire is inside the oven. The pizzas go right on the hot stone and take only, a couple of minutes to cook. People will often ask questions about it. People will ask me, why I built it in such a way. But I wanted to have that feeling of a deteriorating silo because there was a silo that was standing there.
Just basically getting everything together so that I don't have to be running back and forth here. So I think I have everything. Okay, well, that is prep.
With all the food prepped and the candles having made it to the table, the guests start to arrive just as the clouds start to roll in. Today, we're planning for a very special wedding here at South Pond Farms.
How many tables again?
11 plus the head table.
Okay.
We're expecting 100 guests for dinner, and we've pulled out all the stops. The tables have been set, we've been prepping the food for 2 days,
Maybe put a couple of these in.
And the flowers have been arranged. The only problem? Where do we hold the ceremony?
It's easier for us to be set inside and then go the other way and flip it. If you end up being outside, we'll just switch it around while your ceremony's going on.
One of the toughest things is planning for the weather.
We'll set up as if everything is going to be in the barn, and then we'll wait and see.
Oh yeah, it's coming later. We're done for.
So we've set up 2 locations, one indoors, one out.
I always feel like, as much as it might be a little bit of an inconvenience for us, and for sure it is, it's always a quick dash. It is their special day, and I want it to be exactly how they want it to be and how they envision it.
Right now, we're about 15 minutes away from the ceremony starting, and it's been a little misty on and off. I just wanted to check in just to reconfirm that we're going to be outside. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we'll do outside. Awesome. Thanks. She's definitely decided it's outside, but I think as long as it holds off for just about a half an hour for the ceremony, then they'll be okay.
She would like to have her ceremony outside. So to that end, I am delivering that.
When I started my business, I knew that the outdoor ceremony space was really special. Guests are surrounded by lavender, breathtaking views of the rolling hills, and of course our spring-fed pond.
This is actually looking beautiful. You know, this is pretty. I'd be happy if I were out here. And that works.
It's gonna rain. It's spitting already, I can feel it.
With the call made for an outdoor ceremony,
Yeah, we're just going to shuffle things around a little bit.
Amy and the serving team have to work quickly to move the tables and chairs back into place for the reception.
Good luck, everybody. I've got to run.
Down at the prep kitchen, Lisa is on appetizers. Asparagus and prosciutto for 100.
As soon as the wedding's done, we'll get a text and we'll start taking naps up there.
We as a community of friends are gathered here in God's presence just to look around this surrounding. It couldn't be a nicer church in the sense of a sacred place, even on a day like this. But they have decided, I'm sure thinking of you, that we would proceed back to the barn, so the fun's only beginning.
The ceremony is interrupted as the skies open up. Everyone scrambles to the barn, and my team jumps into action. Cocktail hour has unexpectedly begun. And the bride and groom aren't even married yet. Our bride's dream of an outdoor wedding has been dampened. Time to see if Plan B can still be a magical, memorable affair. It's wedding day at South Pond Farms, but not exactly the kind of day the bride was dreaming of. Yesterday, the bride and groom rehearsed their ceremony under blue skies in our idyllic outdoor wedding space down by the pond. But today, it's a different story.
They have decided to proceed back to the barn, so the fun's only beginning. I'm trying to get to the barn too. Okay.
However, Plan B is proving to be a success.
The feel of the ceremony inside the barn is actually lovely. Really, it's beautiful. There's always a little bit of music. The more relaxed you are and your guests are, it's never really an issue.
And here we are.
With the lovely ceremony finally completed,
At the tax, we could start apps.
the appetizers start rolling out of the prep kitchen. Baked asparagus and prosciutto,
I'm gonna get one for her over there too, sorry.
and grape and sausage spears. Over at the bar, requests have begun for Nick's blueberry mint mojito served in a mason jar, of course. While it's warm and cozy inside the barn, Aubrey Rose is braving the elements out at the pizza oven, serving up the pesto and basil oil and tomato pizzas.
Oh, good.
And because of the delay,
Can you do me a favor, get a pound of butter out of the fridge?
Lisa and her team are rescheduling the timing of the dinner service.
Hopefully service will be on time, which is in 15 minutes.
First, locally sourced grilled sirloin with sage butter and mashed potatoes. And second, grilled chicken marinated in fresh basil with grilled local seasonal vegetables. And of course, everyone is welcome to mix and match. Best of all, the bride and groom are thrilled.
Day has been beautiful, even with a little bit of rainstorm and having to do a ceremony in the barn as well as outside. But all in all, the atmosphere has been gorgeous and we love the property and they've been so accommodating here, so they make it really easy.
In the end, it was awesome. And we're really happy about it. Over the moon, basically. Yeah.
A lot of joy.
And finally, out comes a sweet ending to the meal. 100 fresh fruit tarts made with my grandmother's recipe, served simply with vanilla ice cream.
It was so wonderful. They were just happy, and she was happy, and it was beautiful. And that also added an element of something she'll talk about, as long as she's talking about her wedding, that they had to pause because it was such a torrential downpour. And so it always adds a little bit of drama and a little bit of something wonderful, really romantic, really nice experience.
All right. We've got 80 guests arriving for a Texas barbecue supper club.
Just gonna say more salt.
The smoker is doing its thing for 3 days.
So it's not looking good.
That is, if we can keep the fire alive.
I don't know if I have a lot of fire going on in there right now.
I'm Danielle French. 10 years ago, I moved from the city to the country with my 4 daughters, dream in hand, for a more simple side of life. I found my home at South Pond Farms.
This is actually looking beautiful. Okay.
And decided to create special events from scratch, opening my doors to share a taste of the country with everyone. My farm is the perfect setting for both weddings and unique events like our themed supper club dinners. We host at least one a month, and they are becoming a big part of our core business and an important word-of-mouth marketing tool.
While it's not a club in the sense that it's supposed to be something exclusive, it's just a way to gather and eat food, hopefully delicious food. It's a way also for me to have some more creativity with my menus, which I don't often get to do on a larger scale for a wedding because you are more traditional in that way for a wedding.
Though I really love these events, they are a lot of work to put on. Our 70 acres of rolling countryside with wildflower gardens, my beautifully restored classic barn, and the outdoor wood-fired oven are all an integral part of an evening here at South Pond.
Word of mouth is how I started here at South Pond. It was all done on someone saying to somebody else, hey, try this. And it's just lovely to have that.
Tomorrow we are expecting 80 guests for a supper club. The theme is Texas barbecue. Amy is my event coordinator.
Danielle is really interested in barbecuing and always has been. But a Texas barbecue we've never done here before on a large scale.
Though there are actually 4 types of barbecue in Texas, I'm going to combine my favorites of each of them. Applying some rubs here, thick sauces there, and cooking all the meat over indirect heat with some hickory smoke. So this is my first challenge, being able to maintain a smoker for 3 days in order to feed slow-cooked barbecue as a main course for 80 guests.
They're going to expect something a little bit different here, and that's what I want them to feel. I want them to feel that they're coming basically to my home, to a place that I live at, that I cook at, that I take a lot of pride in. And so I'm going to give them the same quality that I want when I'm living here.
Supper clubs have really taken off here at the farm, and although the themes change, the ingredients always come right from the farm and our neighbors.
This is beautiful. Thanks so much.
The parties are always held in our romantic barn, lit by vintage chandeliers, with cocktails served in old-style mason jars, and a communal harvest table set with our antique floral china. Simple, elegant, handcrafted, and handmade is always our approach. Time to get down to our plan of attack.
All right, guys, we have our supper club tomorrow night, the Holding On to Summer, the Texas-themed barbecue, which I've been excited about all year.
Nick, what's your Texas-themed cocktail going to be?
Good question.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So we need a cocktail. I would like to plate the food with the salsa and the sweet potato slices that goes out onto the tables. That can stay there, and then the next food just comes out. So you got the pork, you've got the meat, you've got the chopped salad. But here's the other question. Are we doing a pizza? I feel like we should do some pizza because we always do. And then on layout, Nick and I were talking about the head table being free, and maybe that's where we can do some cool decor things.
Yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
For this supper club to be a success, I need the very best and freshest meat and produce. And maybe the greatest advantage of living in the country is having farmers as neighbors.
Hi.
Hey,
Hi.
I'm Danielle.
Good to see you.
Nice to
Welcome.
see you.
I'm Mike.
Hi, Mike. Great to meet you.
Susan and Mike of Hawthorne Ridge Farms live just down the road from me. They raise heritage, free-range chickens and organic pork.
I've got this supper club and I'm doing beef and pork. So I'll use your pork. It's our last evening supper club this summer, and it's kind of a nice way to finish it off. We've got real comfort food, just party fare to begin the fall.
Yeah, so what you've got here is fresh, not smoked.
Right.
You're going to find that there's just a tremendous amount of flavor, and you're going to make people crazy if you cook something slowly for a whole day. They'll all be lined up at the door salivating.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you taking
Great.
the time.
Wonderful.
It was really nice to meet you.
Great to meet you too.
Barbecue can be really anywhere. It doesn't have to be just in Texas. I mean, I love cooking food outside. We do it all summer long.
Yeah, 250.
Okay, so
this
then
is
we're good.
perfect.
Okay.
We've been going for 3 days now with that smoker, cooking at low temperatures, first brisket and then the pork. I put a rub on with a variety of different spices, and I've let that sit overnight.
Similarly, this beautiful pork that I bought from Susan and Mike is not the kind that can be grilled quickly on a barbecue. This one needs to be smoked for about 9 hours. It's going to require a lot of attention to keep this smoker going at the right heat.
The barbecue taste really comes from the smoke, the hickory, and the wood that you have on your fire. You don't want to go too high and cook too quickly. You need slow, even heat. And we need it to last for 8 to 10 hours. All right, so I'm going to use half of that onion in here. I don't have another person here that is as interested in barbecue as I am. Nice big clove of garlic. It is something that I'm passionate about, so yeah, the barbecue sauce I feel like has to pass my taste test first. So this would be about 4 cups or so. So the sauce can be sort of spicy and sweet, which is what our pulled pork sauce is. This is a very dark brown last run maple syrup, so it's thick and sweet. And then a little bit more vinegary, little thinner sauce for the brisket. Cider vinegar. It gives you the contrast of the sweetness that the syrup has, some mustard, paprika, pepper, and ginger. A little bit of bourbon. The last thing is a little bit of the molasses. I find molasses gives this a depth.
I'm gonna draw a little map of what's actually set up right now. So we have a membership program for the Supper Club. We call them Supper Club members. And usually after somebody's been here once, it's not hard to get them to come back again. 2 long ones, because that makes a difference in how many you see. I think Danielle loves the Supper Club so much because it gives her an opportunity to experiment a little bit with some different things. One of the most popular things that we make is our pulled pork, but normally it's not the main course, so it's a snack, where this is part of the main dish, so you need to have a lot more quantity than we normally do, and I think that that's been a little bit of a challenge maybe. It's my really bad rough drawing, but gives me an idea of the layout for now.
Oh, I have a feeling my fire is actually too hot. Oh no.
This is double the amount of pork I've ever smoked in the past, so I'm trying to keep an eye on it every hour.
Look at this, a little sneak preview. We've got smoking action, we've got fat, sizzling. You know, it's definitely we're cooking in there. I'm actually even gonna be so bold as to turn it down. There we go.
The smoker is just one of my tools. By the time the guests arrive, I'll have 5 stoves ablazing, which is a lot to stay on top of.
It's not looking good.
Today we are hosting a supper club at South Pond Farms for 80 guests. The theme is Texas barbecue.
We've got smoke coming out the top, the vent is open.
We've been working with this smoker for 3 days, regularly checking the fire and making sure heat is consistent. The guests will be here in no less than 5 hours. Better get back to the smoker.
I said I was coming back in an hour. I didn't. I don't know if I have a lot of fire going on in there right now. This is a ton of meat, and I've maybe maxed out the fire that I have. Oh yeah, this looks good.
The pork is looking and smelling out of this world. But my fire is almost out. I'm going to have to take a few coals from my pizza oven to get the fire roaring again and get back on track for dinner time. Also some briquettes, and my favorite touch, dry hickory. I hope that does it.
Okay.
My mind is on the food, but a big part of the Supper Club event is the feel of the barn, and that means decor.
The Texas theme is not one that is necessarily something I have on hand.
Fortunately, my boyfriend Sean is a bit of a cowboy at heart.
Hello.
For sure is something that Sean has on hand.
Let me see if I can rustle some stuff up and I'll bring it over.
So we, borrowed a few of his artifacts.
That's from Texas.
To lend a little bit more of a rustic Texan feel to it.
And there's a Navajo rug. They're good to put flowers in.
Did I talk to you about my secret ingredient?
No.
Cocoa. Cocoa in the rub.
Interesting. That's a good little secret. Is that just straight from your brain, or?
Straight from my brain. I was gonna use espresso, and then I thought, you know what? Cocoa would be nice. So I'm experimenting on 80 people tomorrow.
I think it's gonna be successful.
Sean, you're just in time to smell the brisket with your leather saddle. Did you smell it?
Mmm.
Smells good, right?
Yep. Better than cabbage rolls. They were good, though.
Putting on a dinner for 80 guests is a big affair and requires a big team effort. Starting with my barn, my whole approach to decor is to repurpose everything I can.
Oh, Barb, you're here.
Yes, I'm already set up.
Case in point, my neighbor Barb has come up with a wonderful idea for repurposing old water cans for tonight's event.
They're beautiful the way they are, but just adding that little splash, just kind of...
I just love that color, like it's one of my favorites.
The beauty of paint, if you don't like it, you can repaint it or rub it off. It makes it so simple. I'm kind of allowing the paint to not go in where the cracks are, because it makes it
wear and tear.
Wear and tear.
So we're putting a little character into something that has character, but we're just giving it a little bit of an enhancement.
So I'm just removing a little bit of it with a bag or a paper towel because I just want that hint of color. And then once the paint dries, I just take my steel wool and just kind of remove it in spots.
Nice.
Because I don't want to see paint strokes.
Right.
So I can keep going on this and have them done.
Okay, that would be great.
Yeah.
Time to check the barbecue.
All right, phase 2. Brisket comes off for the second time. I have the smoker, I have the pizza oven, I have the 2 ovens in the kitchen, and I have my house oven. 5 ovens. True Texas style, go big or go home.
In under 3 hours, 80 guests will arrive at South Pond for a Texas barbecue supper.
I said I was coming back in an hour. I didn't.
While attempting to smoke over twice the amount of pork that we've ever served before, our fire has gone out.
But it can be revived.
But with a little bit of improvising, the rubbed pork is finally cooked.
Oh yeah.
To perfection.
Getting all the meat cooked and getting it smoked correctly, I'm feeling pretty confident about it that it's going to be good.
The pork is spectacular, but the guests will be here soon, and there's still a lot to be done. Our head cook, Lisa, is getting a start on dessert, which we want to serve as fresh as possible.
I am baking pecan butter tarts for supper club tonight. I made the dough fresh this morning. Apparently, pecan pie is a favorite for Texas cuisine.
With the pork smoked to perfection, now it has to be pulled, and there's no way around it. You have to get your hands dirty.
I would equate this to weeding your garden. It's therapeutic, it's got to be done, it's painfully slow, and you can't really take any shortcuts here. I really do try, because I've so many great people around me, like there isn't any reason to get stressed, but I always am stressed. Long process to pull it.
While I pull the pork, Lisa continues with the pecan tarts.
Just a nice, sweet ending to like this smoky barbecue meat.
Neil gets a start on the salsa.
Hot pots, friends.
And Nick will make his famous home-baked bread.
I'm obsessed with making sure that the mix is right on. And then after that, I think you're pretty much set on what you're gonna have.
Yeah, we're finishing up the beet salsa. We've got some finely chopped beets, cilantro, onion, lime juice, salt, and pepper.
Hi. Okay, friends, here's what I'm thinking. Maybe all hands on deck on the pulled pork.
Why?
There's a lot. And it's taking a long time, and I'm starting to get into that stress spiral. I'm going to go down and check the chicken. Chicken? Are we having chicken?
No, we're having beef brisket.
Right. How does that taste?
It's on its way.
She's gonna say more salt.
As with all our supper clubs, we like to feature a cocktail that fits the theme.
We're going to have a nice, strong bourbon flavor in this drink.
Resident bartender Nick has a few ideas.
All right, enough with all the hard work in here. We have some official taste testing to do.
Nick, I love these glasses.
You're gonna be happy. Smell,
It
sip,
does have actually a really nice smell. You do get the bourbon.
and then
And the lemon. I could drink a lot of these.
This feels like
trouble.
Cheers, Danielle.
Nick has come up with a Texas twist on the old whiskey sour. Perfect to start off the night. But with just under 2 hours to go till showtime, things are heating up in the prep kitchen.
I'm happy with it.
It's out with the bread and in with the pecan tarts.
Well, the pork's all pulled. Just checking it through. And then I'm gonna sauce it up with the barbecue sauce that we made yesterday. And once it's all sauced up, it's gonna go in the oven to get hot before we serve it.
oh my gosh, they're so beautiful.
And
Look
there's
at these. Barbara, I love this. I love this. This is so nice. These are actually perfect. I wouldn't change a single thing.
Excellent. And it's just working with what was there.
I was just surprised that she had them ready, but now that she does, I'm thrilled to be able to use them.
It's only an hour until our guests arrive. The food is coming together.
Connor and I and Amy are going to get this place organized.
But the barn is bare and still needs to be given a Texas overhaul.
As you can already tell, I'm getting into my traditional stress spiral.
We're setting up for a Texas Barbecue Supper Club event here at South Pond Farms.
Apparently, pecan pie is a favorite for Texas cuisine.
We are only hours away from our guests arriving. The food is ready.
Hot pots, friends.
But the barn still needs to be set and decorated.
Connor and I and Amy are going to get this place organized.
Sometimes I work best under pressure. It's here where I can truly add my personal touch.
Definitely want to get started on these flowers because, as you can already tell, I'm getting into my traditional stress spiral a couple of hours before the event where I feel like nothing is going to get done. I should actually not make a mess here. All right, so I'm feeling like this is nice. I want to just tie in some of the red from the bar. I'm liking it. We're on to filling these vases. These are those little asters. They're actually one of my favorite fall flowers. And even this crazy pink rose has a place, right? Like where do you find that? Nowhere. Rose of Texas. Okay. Oh, so perfect. I'm happy with the decor inside the barn. What I really love is the ambiance of the candles, how beautiful that feels. It's fun using those things. It's fun using his boots on the bar. I love that Navajo blanket, the horns, and it just feels fun. It has a romantic feel to it. Maybe that's because it's me decorating. I've got more of a feminine side than a real manly side or masculine Texan side, but I think women live in Texas too. And so I'm pretty sure they also all have their views about decor. So I think it looks beautiful. I want people to have a good experience. It is like the first very few days of fall.
Individual reserve tickets.
Pick your little spot.
So I think that this has been a very nice way to end the summer.
Now that our guests have arrived, Neil is serving up our bacon, mozzarella, and onion southwestern pizzas. Now it's showtime. Time to wrangle up our guests and serve up some appetizers. Nick's sourdough and my favorite cornbread, as well as fresh lime and cilantro beet salad and sweet potatoes. But it's the main course that I'm especially proud of. Cocoa rub smoked brisket and bourbon maple barbecue pulled pork. On the side, chopped salad with black beans and heirloom tomatoes from the farm. And fresh grilled corn on the cob with sage butter, picked and husked this morning. I couldn't be happier to share this meal with our supper club members. And for dessert, individual pecan tarts served with vanilla ice cream. Simple and delicious.
I would like to thank you very much for coming this evening to our supper club. I'm just so appreciative, and thank you so much for being part of this experience, which I'm very grateful to have been a part of.
We've got 51 first-time guests arriving for our first ever beer tasting event.
One down, 100 to go.
And while prepping hundreds of bite-sized appetizers is always a challenge,
we're going to do them in half, possibly thirds.
We also have our sights on winning the big local butter tart taste-off competition.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready?
I'm Danielle French. 10 years ago, I moved from the city to the country with my 4 daughters, dream in hand, for a more simple side of life. I found my home at South Pond Farms.
This is actually looking beautiful. Okay.
And decided to create special events from scratch, opening my doors to share a taste of the country with everyone. It's my dream to show off my little hidden gem in the countryside to as many people as possible. And it's happening. From weddings to supper clubs, we've held over 25 events this summer alone.
Hey, guys, look at these eggs. They are a thing of beauty.
I live and work at South Pond in my mid-century farmhouse. We grow organic vegetables, flowers, and herbs on our land. And we throw events in our lovely restored barn.
Good morning. Hey, Jessica. This is beautiful.
My food is made from scratch with local ingredients, and our guests expect a taste of the comforts of home. Today, we're challenged with hosting our first ever craft beer tasting event.
I love those smaller things in the barn, so I think it'll have a really nice feeling. Got a little music and candles, and I'll be doing some flowers tomorrow, and I look forward to it. It'll be fun.
To pair with the beer, we'll be serving hundreds of seasonal appetizers. Though small and delicious, they're a lot of work, and we only have one shot at impressing many first-time guests. But as if beer tasting isn't enough, we're also entering a local butter tart taste-off, where we'll be putting our reputation on the line in front of hundreds of potential new customers.
There is a lot of competition, and there are people that take their butter tarts very, very seriously.
So, with so much to prepare,
Okay guys, team meeting.
I'm meeting with Amy and Nick in the barn to get started.
So tonight we have our craft beer tasting that is a fundraising event. So we've got the lovely lawn crew here today.
Perfect.
I'm happy to say that we have 51 people for tonight.
I am shocked and surprised that we have 51 people.
Like in a good way.
Yes, in a good way. The craft beer tasting is a fundraiser for local charity, and the money that we raise will go directly back to that charity.
I'm hoping it will be a win-win, as we'll also be able to showcase South Pond Farms to a whole new audience.
So I'm thinking 2 rich appetizers, pulled pork with our bourbon barbecue sauce and strip loin spread with our tomato jam. I'm also going to do a little vegetarian crostini.
Awesome.
But I'm feeling like both of those appetizers can just stand up to beer generally.
So I'm providing a beer tasting for the meeting. No food tasting for
No food? Well, you caught me off guard.
I thought maybe. So this is going to be the darkest, sort of fuller-bodied beer that we're going to have.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is good. I'm going to be napping under the barn all afternoon.
We have the butter tart competition coming up. And is Aubrey going with Chelsea?
Yes. We are entering the best local butter tart category. We were second place winners last year, so we're excited about that.
Bottom line, we'd really like to win it this time.
So I think that we are ready for tonight, and we're also ready for the butter tart competition.
Agreed.
Going local is a theme for both our butter tarts and our beer tasting event, and there's nothing more local than my own backyard.
Let's go get some tomatoes for Danielle's chutney.
The hot, dry summer this year means my heirloom tomatoes are in abundance.
So knowing Danielle, she'll want a couple different varieties.
One of my favorite spots to cook at South Pond is right in my own personal country kitchen. It's where I cook meals for my girls and also where I experiment with my recipes, including what's become my tried and true savory onion tomato jam.
The beer tasting is going to have, I describe it as guy food, because it's a little pulled pork and it's some roast beef, and I thought, you know, maybe to have a little bit of the tomato jam, tomato onion jam on the roast beef would be fantastic. So I've got the onions to slowly cook and sort of melt away, and it's fantastic in here. The smell is delicious, and as they melt and soften and caramelize, they become sweeter and really delicious.
Hello, Danielle. Have some
Nick?
tomatoes washed up from the
Oh
garden.
man, these are just beautiful with all of the colors. You just want to preserve them just the way they are. So let's go for 12 cups of tomatoes chopped. And the chickens are going to be so happy. They love these tomato tops. Our onions are beautifully caramelizing. We'll put them into the pot. Nice.
Okay.
Some nice fresh ginger in there. So now the sugar will start to make this thick and jammy.
Okay.
It is a tomato jam, so you want it to have a tomato taste, but the backdrop is onions as well. So the onions gives it a little bit of depth because we've had them in there caramelizing away. I'm gonna let that cook and I'm gonna stir it regularly. But I think a beer and a little bit of meat with some tomato spicy jam is gonna be delicious.
As its flavors develop, Amy's getting her beer passport ready for the printer. It's a special touch, and we're hoping a way for the event to feel more interactive.
So I've been working on putting together a new idea that Nick and Danielle had called our craft beer passport. What they'll do is they'll come up with their passport and then they'll get Nick to initial it or stamp it so that they know which kind they've taken. And then there's also tasting notes, so they want to remember anything about the talk that they get about the beer.
A big part of our beer tasting is to feature some local brews to get our guests interested in what's crafted in the region.
Nick!
You caught me.
What are you doing coming in the back door, man?
I'd sneak in and see what kind of beers you had here for me.
Sweet, yeah,
Let's
come on,
talk
let's
about
go
it.
in the back.
Perfect.
We had a big brew day yesterday, so it's a little messy back here.
It smells good. A lot of them
Come
go
on
here.
out to the tasting room.
Great.
We'll hook you up with some samples.
Okay.
Nick is seeking advice from Jack Doak, owner of Old Flame Brewing Company, to decide on the last of the feature beers for the evening.
Why don't you try our blonde? That's a Helles lager. Can you look at the nice golden color? Nice head on the beer.
Okay. So I'm kind of looking for something a little more flavorful, fuller bodied, maybe a darker beer.
Try our Vienna lager. A very malt-forward flavor. Would pair up nice with any type of spicy foods.
Yeah.
A little bit of caramel.
Molasses or caramel or kind of thing. Yeah, there's so much variation in each flavor here. It's
Well, people often think craft means like crazy out there beers.
Right.
But what it really means is local quality beer with quality fresh ingredients.
We'll go with the Vienna lager, the red lager.
Not a problem, we'll hook you up.
Perfect, thank you. Great, thanks a lot.
To the red.
Cheers.
The craft beer is selected, but we're a long way off from being ready to feed 51 hungry first-time guests who will be here soon.
We're gonna do them in half, possibly thirds.
On top of that, I'm on butter tart duty. Today, our kitchen team is being pushed to the limit, preparing for 2 events at once.
To the red.
Cheers.
Our very first beer tasting event, where new guests are coming to experience the farm for the first time.
What they'll do is they'll come up with their passport and then there's also tasting notes.
And a butter tart competition that we'd love to win after finishing second last year.
We're going to make some honey butter tarts. So here I have my flour and I'm going to weigh it out and make sure that it is 300, and it is. Perfect. Half a teaspoon of salt, and I have my cold butter already in pieces. The Butter Tart Taste Off competition is designed for small local businesses to profile their butter tarts.
Winning would be great for South Pond because it generates wonderful word-of-mouth business.
I've got big butter chunks in here, so when I roll these out, they're gonna be part of my pastry. I'm gonna have a bite where I've got little bits of butter in there, and it's gonna be delicious. The pastry is what's holding the insides together, but it's just as important in terms of your taste and overall experience of eating the butter tart. Come on out, Molly. Come on. Gonna go see Neil about some sugar. Hey, Neil, I'm out of sugar.
You're out of
I've come
sugar.
down the road on horse and carriage. Things are pretty bad when you don't have sugar in your house. Like, honestly, what's going on? How are things?
Good. Barbecue
Smells good.
sauce is almost done. I was thinking about doing some caramelized shallots for the pulled pork as well. Is that okay?
You rock. That sounds like a great idea. Okay, I'm coming in soon. I'm just finishing with these tarts.
Yep.
So the butter tart filling is made up of, first and foremost, butter. Delicious. unsalted, honey, and this is fantastic honey from our own bees, cardamom, fresh eggs, brown sugar. Thickness for butter tart is almost the same as pie, you know, 1/4 of an inch, maybe a little bit less. I understand that butter tarts are taken seriously and people love them and are very particular to certain recipes and the way their grandmother or great-grandmother made them. The honey butter tart is based on a very traditional butter tart, no raisins, no nuts, plain. We are entering that butter tart into the category Best Overall. It's our signature tart. And I like, personally, these rivets and put the filling right in there. Okay, so I'm going to put them in the oven for about 20 minutes, and let's hope that these will be prize winners.
But this I will have to leave to my daughter, Aubrey Rose, because we have a beer tasting in a few hours and a lot of work ahead of us.
We have it. Tomato jam.
Time to get back to work on the tomato jam and roast beef appetizers with Neil.
This is actually just like an amazingly gorgeous piece of meat.
Neil prepared this roast beef with a simple salt and pepper dry rub this morning. I can't wait to taste it.
Okay, let's just try one of these guys out.
Kind of like one bite things,
I
right?
personally could not gobble down that
Yeah,
entire
I mean,
bite.
but we're looking for one bite.
Actually, is that even too big? Perfect timing. Here's a little appetizer. That's a big bite. And let me know what you think. That one's probably a little too big, right?
Very good. Very, very good.
Is it good?
It's a lot. That was a big bite.
Big bite? Okay. So we're going to do them in half, possibly
Maybe even
thirds.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say even thirds.
Okay. Did she actually just bust through there because she knows I'm working with beef? It is your lucky day, my friend.
The roast beef skewers aren't the only thing on the menu.
Sit. All right.
With only 6 hours until the guests arrive, there are still many more appetizers to be made, and 2 of my team are miles away at the butter tart taste-off. Aubrey Rose and Chelsea are setting up to compete at the local butter tart taste-off. Last year we were the runner-up. This year we'd love to take home first overall.
What do you got going on? We have a regular, which has honey filling. That sounds yummy.
This is a great event.
That's awesome.
Not only is our honey butter tart in competition, but hundreds of people will get a taste of South Pond and help put us on the map.
Absolutely delicious. Can't everybody win?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Kawarthas Northumberland Butter Tart Taste-Off. And in the spirit of the butter tart. This is a very interesting round because all of the ingredients listed here are locally sourced ingredients piled into a butter tart.
I know we have a fantastic tart. It's tasty, it's delicious. Sometimes honey isn't necessarily everyone's cup of tea in that sense. It has a different taste that you don't quite know what it is. If you're not a honey lover, you might not like it, but it really doesn't matter. We have a great tart.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I've returned with the winner. All right, hon, are you ready? So, congratulations to the cream cheese and butter whistle stop. You have won. Congratulations. Butter tart. We love you, and we'll see you again next year. Thank you so much.
You win some, you lose some, but this really hasn't been a loss.
Butter tart competition is actually a fun event. Aubrey Rose and Chelsea did a great job. There was lots of other bakers, a lot of newcomers. Really puts this community on the map.
We didn't place, but we sold all of our butter tarts, and we brought 250 butter tarts, so that's really good. Maybe next year. Yeah.
That was fun, and now 250 people know about South Pond Farms. But I've got to get a start on flowers for tonight's beer tasting event, and Neil has an idea for some sweet and spicy beer nuts.
Nuts and beer go together pretty well in general. We're using allspice and sumac. My dad's side of the family is Lebanese, and those are 2 that we use all the time. So that's kind of where I got the idea for it. A little bit of honey. Well, this smells good. Over the almonds. Give it a taste. It's pretty good. It's not gonna end up like an almond brittle, but it'll be nice to have a little bit of this extra sticky stuff.
I'm going to try to put some things together for this evening. Well, I'd like to keep it simple, and I'd love to use some of the things that are growing. One of the things that would be wonderful is to use some of the grasses and the wheat that is here on the property. Yeah, so this is a buckwheat. When it first blooms, it is pure white. And when you plant it out in the field literally turns beautiful white. Also, bees really like this. I love the yellow. It's just such a rural color. Also, the hydrangeas are really beautiful. They're starting to turn color as the weather changes. They've got a bit of rose in them. Okay, I think these are shaping up.
And as if prepping for 50 guests isn't enough, this is still a working farm, which means daily chores.
The goats in the garden is an absolute daily occurrence at South Pond.
Basically, we're having an ongoing battle with these goats right now. We try and entice them with a bit of food. Come on. Right in, right in.
Keeping the goats away from my flowers is a daily challenge. But to my girls and I, they are actually part of our family, and they live in the most deluxe accommodation. I couldn't imagine living on a farm without a few goats around.
So today, in the ongoing goat battle, call that a victory.
We are setting up for our very first beer tasting event in the barn.
Here's a little appetizer. That's a big bite.
Cooking some of my favorite homemade dishes to complement some local beers, and bringing the fields inside with our flower decor.
Well, I'm back with the passports for this evening, just in time. I'm really happy with these. I love this paper that's got a little bit of texture to it, but it also makes the colors look really nice and kind of vintagey. And then this is where people will be making their notes, and then they can take this back home with them.
Neil's spicy beer nuts are just about ready.
Some of the honey and butter is starting to kind of caramelize together, which is great.
And I'm helping set up in the barn.
This here.
There's only a few hours left until the beer tasting begins, and there is lots still to get done.
We have no one coming in, right? It is just us.
Yeah.
I get stressed. Do we need anyone? No, we don't. I'm starting to get totally stressed.
Tonight, it's locally sourced craft beer paired with delicious spicy appetizers, a simple menu matched with the barn's homestyle decor.
We're working on the crostinis. I think a lot of the way that I like to cook and the way that Danielle likes to cook is pretty simple, you know, making sure that we have the best possible ingredients and we're just kind of preparing them well. We're gonna do the zest and the juice of 1 lemon to start and a little corn relish. 1 down, 100 to go.
Hey, Neil.
Hello, Danielle.
Check in. Okay,
These
I'll
are
start
little
on the corn
crostinis.
relish. This is a beautiful thing. I'm just having a bit of an epiphany moment here because this is what I love to do, make everything look beautiful. But this would be not a good thing for a large crowd.
Well, thank God it's not a large crowd.
Yeah. Aubrey, maybe we could use a little bit of platter help. Okay.
I suppose the only problem with serving everything fresh is that we're always right down to the wire, and here we are again.
Good.
Luckily, Aubrey Rose is back and is able to help with the appetizer platters. We are set up for the event, and our doors are open. First guest is South Pond's biggest fan, my boyfriend and neighbor Sean.
I think it's going to be a good night.
It's showtime. Nick has the beer tasting all planned out.
So basically, we're trying to work from your left to right. That's going to be a nice balance from each beer to the other.
I feel like this is actually beautiful to look at.
Yeah.
I wonder if you want to just leave these so that people can kind of get a sense of where they're going. Okay, and I think we're ready to rock. I think you're prepared, and I'm looking forward to this. Nick Emery?
Cheers to that.
Our selection of 5 local beers actually look beautiful, all laid out. I just love the colors.
Good to see you. I'll trade you for your craft beer passport. It's nice you can get it sort of checked off so you keep track of which ones you've tried. and which ones you haven't.
Hey, Sue, how are you?
And so our first beer tasting begins.
It gives you a chance to try some of the local beers, and this is the first time I've been to a beer tasting ever. I like to drink beer.
These look good.
Yeah, definitely.
But with beer, there must be food.
One more on here, one on each end of this head table.
We're serving up pulled pork sliders with our signature bourbon maple barbecue sauce, topped with Neil's caramelized onions.
Pulled pork on a bun, and that was tasty. Caramelized onion.
For the meat lovers, our thinly sliced roast beef and spicy tomato onion jam skewers.
That was really good. You pair that with beer, it gives a different flavor.
And to pair with our paler ale, a lemon and goat cheese crostini topped with fresh sweet corn and chives from my garden.
I don't mind this one at all. So for a non-beer drinker.
For a non-beer drinker, that's pretty good.
This is really good. That's impressive.
And of course, what is beer without beer nuts? Spiced with sumac from our gardens, allspice and cinnamon.
It's going well. Nice to try something different. I feel like everyone's had beer. The food has disappeared. I'm happy. I think it's kind of a nice event. It's a nice feeling to it, and we should do more of these.